Hi everyone, welcome to the Sew Essential vlog. I'm Lucy and I'm here today to share with you how to sew a French seam. So this is a seam finish that's traditionally used in shirt making, but then it's also really useful for delicate fabrics or sheer fabrics such as chiffon or silk or crepe de chine. It's a lovely strong finish for the seams. It's very strong, but it's very subtle as well and very neat. It's not suitable for heavier fabrics because it would create far too much bulk, but effectively the seam allowances, which are the raw edges which you would find on the inside of the garment, are encased in themselves, and it just gives a lovely professional finish. So I've got a blouse here that I've made from crepe de chine, where I sewed French seams. I did them on the armholes as well, and you can just see that there. So this is the seam allowance. You can see the seam line there, that bit of stitching, just trying to hold that up to the camera. You can see that stitching there, and then this is the seam allowances are encased in there, so there's just no raw edges. It's lovely and neat, but it's also lovely and strong. Everything I use in the video today is available on our site, and the link to our site is below, but let's get started with the sewing. Okay, so here I've got some fabric which I've pinned wrong sides together. So we're breaking convention here. We're pinning wrong sides together rather than right sides together, which always feels a little bit strange. But trust me, you'll see why. It all comes together. And I'm going to stitch initially a 1/4 inch seam. So I'm using my seam marker foot here, and I'm just lining everything up with that 1/4 inch marking. You could use a 1/4 inch foot, you could use your needle plate, whatever you prefer. I just love using this seam marker foot. I find it really helps me, especially when I've got tasks where I want real accuracy. So I'm just stitching those two pieces of fabric together. I'm using some cotton lawn here because this sort of seam finish generally is good for lighter weight fabrics, as I mentioned earlier in the video. And we'll just back tack at the end there to secure everything. Okay. So you can see that's sewn together, a normal 1/4 inch seam, but with wrong sides of the fabric together. Now I've taken it to the ironing board. I'm just going to press the seam flat to secure the stitches, and then I'm going to press that seam open. So it's a little bit fiddly because it's only a narrow seam. Just watch your fingers and press that open. There we go, give it some steam, as they say. And then we're going to press the fabric right sides together along that original seam. So just press that nice and flat, and then we're going to take that over to the sewing machine. So we're now sewing, we've got that seam in the middle there, and then we're now sewing the fabric in the conventional way, right sides together. And this time we want to sew with a 3/8 seam because that will cover comfortably the seam allowance that you've already sewn, and it'll encase everything in there. So I'm just using the 3/8 marker on this foot that I've taught you about, and I'm just going to stitch that down to secure everything. So if you think about it, we're sewing a 3/8 seam here, and inside that is a 1/4 inch seam, so that's going to sit nice and neatly inside the seam we're sewing now. And you've got two seams there, so that's why it's nice and strong as well, like we said at the start of the video. So just reverse stitch there, cut my threads, and there you have it, a beautiful French seam. So it just looks lovely and neat. That's the inside of the fabric, so that would be the inside of your garment. Everything's neat and encased, and then the outside of your garment just looks normal. So I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial today. As I mentioned at the start, everything I used is available on our site. You can find the link to our website below. If you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe to our channel, where you'll find lots and lots more tutorials, sewing inspiration in the form of regular updates of new sewing patterns and new dressmaking fabrics, what we've been making, and also reviews. Thanks everybody for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.